vascularized organ. What they're doing, they're actually monitoring blood flowing to the spleen. And if you look at blood flow, once we leave the heart, go over the arch and begin to descend, it's very close to the area of our kidneys, and therefore becomes one of the first organs to get served blood from the heartbeat. So this sleeve along that artery would be able to help monitor for anything that could possibly be a foreign particle. Now, defense. The system, which is pretty much what we tend to associate it with. But as you can see, there's a whole lot more involved than just thinking about defense. We're going to find that we have what's called non-specific and then specific, because we are going to have 3 lines of defense. Non-specific, anything that tries to invade our bodies that is foreign, we call it a pathogen. This is a lot of things. We tend to think virus, bacteria, but we have a lot of other things that we get exposed to on a daily basis. We have chemicals in the air, we have toxins, we have chemicals, we have food, we have water, we have the air, we have the environment. Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay, there are a lot of things that we're going to get exposed to on a daily basis that the body works very hard to keep out. I keep saying 3 lines of defense because that's important. Our very first line is an external barrier. Our skin and these mucosa membranes. So the skin and then those mucous membranes that are lining any opening to the outside of my body. What systems would that include, that mucous membrane leading to? I gotta breathe. I've got mucous membranes from this point to this point. My entire digestive system. Because from this opening to the other one, okay, it's going to be lined. That's the best way for me to put it. Okay? My urinary tract. All right? What about my ears? Do you know what lines that? Cerumen, the wax. Remember that from Special Senses? Okay? So, I got these linings, and these linings, and the skin as a whole. I mean, y'all remember talking about that in part 1, right? One of the things that amazes me is it's waterproof. Think what could happen if the skin wasn't waterproof. I mean, I'd pay $10 to see that, but I'm just saying, think about what that would be like if the skin wasn't waterproof. But everything that's on it, what kind of stuff do we have on it to try to protect us? We got oils. We got sweats. Well, What else? I'm covered in it. You're covered in it. We're covered in it. Bacteria. We try to kill it. I don't. I'm not getting near that stuff. But
What is that?
yeah. In some cases, we don't have a choice. For example, you use a little Johnny house and, you know, don't come out or have anything. The only thing you've got is this. It's better than nothing, okay? And hospitals have a lot of this, okay? The problem, though, is it really sets up an environment for bad bacteria to reproduce, okay? And the good bacteria that would be fighting it to be gone. The same thing with people who bathe in soap that's antimicrobial. But a lot of companies now have learned, I mean, soon as that, I remember when this stuff came out on the market. And I said then how horrible it was going to be for the human population. Nobody listened to me. And here we are now, companies have gone, oh yeah, it's bad. Y'all think? And so now we see a lot of companies taking it out of their products. Yeah. Don't even get me started on. But that first line of defense is important. And our skin and our mucous membranes, they are working very well in the grand scheme of things. Now, if something breaches my first line of defense, meaning if something gets past my skin or my mucosa, my second line of defense needs to come help. My second line of defense, it is non-specific, meaning the response it gives is the same every single time. For example, today I picked up the piece of paper and I cut my finger. And I kind of look at it and be like, and keep on going. All right. Tomorrow, barely even notice it because my second line of defense took care of it. Next week, I do the same thing. Don't even notice it. My second line of defense responded the same way. Didn't matter what it was.
All right, so something similar on that, what you just said. So the other day, I got a splinter, and I took it out, but I felt like I didn't take the whole thing out, and so I don't do the whole pin thing because it's just bad memories about that. So I just left it in there, and so now I barely feel it. So is that basically what happens if you leave like a little tiny bit of it inside your finger? It's your second defense system what's degrading that, or?
Yeah, the body will take care of it. Now, if it got infected really bad, you would know it by now, meaning that would most likely be pus and redness and irritation and everything, and then the doctor would go, you have to go to the doctor and they put you on some antibiotics, they might do a little cut everything out and that sort of thing. But it used to be, you can't see it very well right now, but do you see that little dot right there?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a little dot on my hand. It used to be much more well visible, but at my age it's had a long time to be working on degrading it. I guess I was probably in like maybe 7th grade, and a pencil I don't know how I did it. I guess like, because, you know, back then we had those little zipper bags and everything for your pencils and your pens, you know. And I went to go get one, and the pencil was really, really sharp, okay, and it stuck in my hand, and the lead, that carbon lead, broke off in my hand. Yeah, and it's even until now, there's still the little dot that's present. It used to be very visible, but this, and anybody want to take a guess how old I am?
You never asked me.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Take a guess. Take a guess. Because in the 7th grade, you're what? How old?
Usually like 12.
About 12?
12 or 11.
12,
Yeah,
11.
like 12.
Add 41 years to that. Okay? So, that's how long it's had to be working on it. And it's still visible. But that's kind of cool, you know. But I didn't have to have my hand cut off or anything. It was fine. Okay? And, you know, back when I was growing up, that's why I can say, back when I was growing up, you know, my mom's answer to everything was that mercurochrome. I don't know if y'all remember that. Probably don't. I don't know if they even make it anymore. But, I mean, you could have severed a limb, and she would have been like, well, go get the mercurochrome, you know, and that's what you put on everything. That and that iodine. Whew. So, it doesn't matter what might have tried or what did breach this first line, okay? Whether it's a virus, whether it's a bacteria, whether it's whatever the case might be, it's going to respond the same. Meaning, I'm going to have some leukocytes, some of the white cells come in, macrophages are going to come in, some little antimicrobial proteins from the bloodstream are going to come in. Natural killer cells will make sure that everything is taken care of, like any debris, that sort of thing. And then usually to help the process along, I might get some inflammation and some fever. Believe it or not, something as small as what might be a paper cut will have inflammation, get the little redness around it, and heat. And that's okay. Let it do that. All right? Chances are it's taking care of the problem. Okay? But for the most part, we don't even notice it. Unless you're like me. And I keep checking it. All right? Because I want to make sure. Like I currently have a friend. Can't remember what she did. But on her finger, something stuck through. Like, I don't know if she was working outside in the garden or if her dog bit her. I can't remember. Because it's a puppy. You know, puppies have got sharp teeth. But it kind of went through part of the nail and into the skin. And it's been about 2 weeks. And still got air. She's in her idea. Oh, well, let's just pop it and let the pus leak out of it.
Oh.
Now, you know what pus is, right? What's pus? That yucky white stuff that'll show up on a cut or whatever. What that is actually dead cells and the dead white cells that have been trying to fight it. And, okay, sometimes that's fine. Just let it go. Just clean it up, okay? But when you got to still be walking around with a bandage and the finger's still swole, still red, and everything like that, and then, I don't know why, I guess I have some kind of like medical doctor air about me or something. But like I said, I only have enough knowledge to be dangerous. But people love to be like, can you tell me if I need to go to the doctor? And so, you know, I'll look at it. I'll be like, how long has it been like that? About 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
You might want to get that checked out. But has she? No. Okay. And on Sunday, I was like, okay, I can see that. But her third line of defense has kicked in. And that's when things get a little more interesting. Because during my first and my second lines of defense, things are okay. The body's going to react